What's up, y'all? This is Rom coming back at you with yet another car video. A key ingredient missing from videos promoting sex appeal. And not my videos, because this key ingredient is something that if you do a search on YouTube, my videos pop up a whole lot, which surprised me. I was like, damn. They ain't the only videos, but a lot of mine. And that simple thing is sexual charisma. Sexual charisma. And that's more of an intangible thing. Because one of the things I noticed with the videos that are promoting sex appeal, they just basically looks maxing videos. And promoting a look that, the content creators consider sexy. Now, part of his body game, but it's always very specific. And, they'll hit stuff like, yeah, get your body fat down, get your face like this, your hair, all of that stuff. And I'm going to tell you what, here's the thing with it. That's not bad at all, because I promote body game. But if y'all notice, I promote something different. Anybody who follows me, I got to get these glasses right. I promote something different because a lot of guys, they'll have you thinking you have to look a specific way. That's why some dudes be thinking about plastic surgery. Or if they don't look that specific way, they feel like, oh, it's over and everything. And like I say, if you can get there, okay, yeah, that's good. Like if you get to your maximum, your best physical appearance, your best physical look, style, presentation, and all that, you're going to get some. It's the bottom line. Shit, it's better than nothing. It's the first tier of sex appeal. So on that part, it's very accurate. It's very accurate. Now, very good. But here's a bad part with it. Is this a bad part? It depends on what the woman, a particular woman, finds attractive. Because a common thing is a dude to think he's handsome or he got that body. Every woman's going crazy. But invariably, a woman that somebody actually wants ain't attracted to that. See, let me be clear on this, because, you get a lot of guys thinking there's some objective attractiveness. No, it's all subjective. Objective is 1 + 1 = 2. Attractiveness, at best, you can get someone who can be considered consensusly attractive. But if you were to actually talk to women or show them like pictures of guys and stuff, they all not going to agree on the general looks of the men. They just not. See, objective means they all want to say 10 no matter what, no matter who. If the guy is supposedly objectively attractive, all the women going to say the same thing. And if y'all doubt what I say, now I should have saved that video where this dude was asking some women about some models and stuff, right? I should have saved that shit. But here's another example. Here's a great example. Just in the YouTube search, just put in wait a minute. You ain't got a school bus up here. You gotta stop. Thought somebody else. Oh, they coming from that kiddie care center. Alright, but if you just go in the YouTube search, just look up smash and pass. Just put in anything. Look at any random smash or pass video. The women can't agree. They'll go to one guy, he might get 3 women that say smash. But then 4 other women that say pass. Because they all want to see him differently. See, that's the reality of attractiveness. Any thoughts that is objective is cultural bias. But if you were to show pictures of men to different women in different social classes, different races, they're not going to agree. They're not going to agree. In fact, every ethnic group, every nationality, they're going to have a certain standard for what they want the man to look like. In fact, if you out and just see, like, if you're in different areas with different racial groups, you're going to find it's not going to be the same. Even different social classes, it's not going to be the same. So, establishing that reality, if a guy fixes himself up to his best, yes, he can get some women. but they're going to be the women in his tribe. That's why I emphasize tribe. That's why I say just get your best body. You notice I say the only thing in general I'll say is muscles, and that's still general because someone real slim could be generally muscular still. And or somebody who's more endomorphic, bigger, they can just have bigger muscles. They just got different size muscles. And women are going to look at it differently. Women are going to look at it differently. You're going to get different sets depending on where you at. It don't stay the same. I'll use myself for an example. Now, you know what? It's funny because people will see me and, some detractors say, oh, you obese, you bigger that. They don't see the whole body. Because then somebody on a video today said, hey, Rom, I'm looking lean. I'm the same. I got more stuff on here. You're not seeing the lower part. But I'm still bigger than what I was. Bigger than these days. All right. So y'all see the fitness model type days, right? All right. I got a certain group of women there, but there were some women who rejected me, right? So when, I put on more muscle and everything, I saw I was getting a different type of woman. A different type of woman is responding. And I've said my weight has gone up and down. I noticed different types of women would respond to me different ways, So it depends. So it depends on what your body is and then which group of women that you're dealing with, which social class, which racial class, Like I remember it was on this website and they were showing a bunch of men's bodies, right? Bunch of men's bodies. It was all white men's bodies, right? Now somebody I forgot which message board it was, but the dude said he shared the same the same website with some black women. And they were like, where's Thor? Now, Chris Hemsworth, Thor is bigger. These guys were slimmer. They weren't feeling that. So that's the first thing. That's important to remember. Now, if you maximize yourself physically, you're going to get somebody, but it's going to still depend on your environment. Like you might be in a certain country, certain region, wherever, and the women ignoring you. They ain't feeling your face, body, whatever. But then you go someplace else, shoot, you the best thing since sliced bread. So if you got the right body, you got the right looks, and you got the right environment, you good to go. You turning them on at least physically. But then you still limited there. Now, as I said, it's very important for you to still like get your physical maximum. But if you want to increase it to a next level, go beyond body gain, go beyond it, you got to develop the second tier, which is charisma. And it's more than just communication or connecting. And I allow that. That's something, but we're talking specifically about sexual charisma. When a man has sexual charisma, damn, is it about to storm? Anyway, when a man has sexual charisma, he's going to turn on women who he's not normally their type. And it's an intangible thing. They're going to feel it. Some women will even say they feel heat from that guy. Now, a lot of people don't understand sexual charisma, but it's a big reason why you will get some guys who, they don't look like fashion models. They don't look like fashion models at all. They don't look like standardly handsome. But a combination of what they do have physically and their mindset, their persona, and the energy that they project out to the woman turns them on. For guys to understand that, think about, have you ever seen a woman who probably isn't what you would consider like the ideal? She ain't your ideal. She ain't that icon. She ain't like that model, or she ain't that, even that IG woman. But she got you going crazy. And usually what it'll be is she'll have a decent enough body, but then she'll have an attitude. She's receptive and everything to you in a sexual manner. See, understand something. For a woman to be sexy, truly sexy to a man, is more than just the body. How many men have met a woman who's pretty, got a nice body, but you just like, but then you meet a woman who might not be on that same level, but she got you like, shoot. Like you just want to tear her up. You can't stay out of her. But that's more of an energetic thing. It's a feel thing. Because the thing is, you still have to connect no matter what. Not just communication, but your bodies. Your body will tell you. And, you know, it's an attitude, everything. So just like you can have that with women, plenty of women have that with men. That's why you will see some men, like, I know there's some men they in some of the Tantra subcultures, they getting plenty of women. They getting plenty of women. But they might not be considered classically handsome. In fact, if you talk to a lot of women, that's why they can get with a guy who might be average looking, or medium ugly, or even ugly sexy. They got that charisma, you know? Now, some people, they might call it that swag. And it's a combination. Like I said, it's not the physicality. It's not the physicality necessarily. That helps. That definitely helps. But, like I said, that's limited to the women who specifically like it. If they don't like it, if a woman don't like your physicality, specifically, if you don't have that charisma, you get none. But say she's so-so about your physicality. She's so-so, but you got that charisma. And it's usually not, in most cases, it's not that case where they, they just see you and they just turned on, right? Most cases. It's usually a case they in the same environment with you. They can get to know you. It kind of grows on them. And if you actually have conversations with women, you really know how they really rolling. I'm gonna say the overwhelming majority got that guy they slept with, and he didn't look like all that to him. He didn't have like the money and status thing. In fact, even relying on money, status, or even looks kind of actually kills sexual charisma. It's an intangible thing. It's a spiritual thing. It literally is. It's a spiritual. It's all the intangibles. It's the intangible things you're doing, not just the physicality, but like the tone of your voice, how you walk, how you communicate with them, you know? Your body language. Your body language, very, very important. Very, very important. All of those things. And there's a lot of stuff to it. In fact, in the description box, I'm going to give a link to a series on Rom TV where I talk about building your sexual charisma. Because it's an interesting thing. It's like something I can explain. I can give the key in a sentence, the real key to really expressing it. Or, well, a lot of people don't get it. So I just say I give you a series which if you really break it down, you can actually build it. You can actually build it. Because I'm going to tell you what, charisma is a powerful thing. In fact, lately I've been getting all these views on my handsome man videos. So the guys know, okay, just being handsome don't quite do it. And really all that is, if you handsome, been called handsome, either you're not handsome enough to that particular woman, or what she considers handsome, or you're lacking that charisma. A lot of guys lack it because it takes a lot. Some guys got it. It's just an it factor some guys are born with. Other guys can develop it. Very hard though, very hard, because it's a mindset thing. I give you one clue, and I talk about it in the series. Just your mindset, your attitude towards sex. A lot of men are sexually repressed. They sexually repressed for a myriad reasons. I talked about sexual hang-ups. If you can get rid of those sexual hang-ups, you open yourself up to developing that sexual charisma. If you can deal with those hang-ups. But, wait a minute. Is this hell? What the fuck? This is fucking hell. It's April 26th and I got hell coming down on the fucking car. God damn. people don't think there's some weather issues. Anyway, April 26th, y'all. Shit. Anyway, this is fucking hell. Anyway, it's the intangible. See, I'm gonna tell you what, and I'm not the first person to really like break it down. You know, if you familiar with some tantra teachers and stuff, they using that energy. They getting women more on sexual charisma than their actual looks. And honestly, here's a book. I've talked about this book several times. Swoon. You know, a book talking about great seducers by Bessie Prelove. And I'll put a link for it in the description box. I talked about it often. Anybody who's read the book, she starts off the book talking about charisma. She's really only got a few pages talking about actual looks. And actually, one of the points she made is, if you look at a lot of ladies' men, they don't look like the types who should be getting a woman. They say the majority of them, they don't look like all that, but they got that zing, that energy. Like, understand something with women. They gotta feel. That's why you get many women, they can go out with a guy, he can have looks, money, status. He can have everything on paper, which I call the masked man. You know, got everything. And they might deal with him because he got everything on paper, but they don't feel it. Like I always tell the story, this woman I was dealing with on a pure sexual thing, she was just a fuck buddy, right? Now I ain't spend one penny on her. I ain't take her out. You know, we met at a club, but after that, I think I saw her out at her job one time. She was working retail. That was about it. And, you know, I wasn't putting on a lock on her. So, you know, she'd go out, try to deal with other guys. And I remember she told me, she met this guy, he had more money than I had. I was still living at home. He had more money. He had all the right stuff. She told me. But she just didn't feel that vibe with him. She didn't feel that energy. See, that vibe is very important for women. That vibe is very important. A lot of guys don't get it. A lot of women go on that feeling. They gotta feel it. You know, they might give you a shot, even if you their physical type. They still gotta feel it. You know, they gotta feel something. And a lot of factors go into how they feel you. Yeah, the physicality plays a part, but then your mannerisms. Or here's a good thing. Here's something. Okay. Like a lot of guys say, oh no, it's just looks. Okay, say the guy got a square jaw. He's tall. All what a lot of guys think you need. You know, tall, lean, muscular, all that shit. What if he actually feminine? You think a woman's gonna be turned on by that? Or he's acting simpish, or he's acting goofy. That's not gonna turn a woman on. He's not aggressive, assertive. See, a key part of a masculine sex appeal is being assertive. You know, being assertive. That's why you get some dudes, they might not, you know, they ain't gonna get a modeling contract, but they gonna go for it. They gonna take charge. And that's part of it too. It's just that whole sexual, it's that whole sexual energy. And I'm gonna tell you what, you don't have to listen to me. Go find some women whose words you might trust. Actually find some women whose words you'll trust. They'll tell you. And one of the things is, it goes against if you take an honest look at the guys really getting the women out here, it's mainly that charisma, really getting the women. You got a few who might be on that Adonis thing, that ASP thing, but ASPs are rare. Shout out Cousin T-Talk, Alpha Showpieces. Those are very rare. If you take an honest look at the guys. Now, when I say that, remember, when I talk from experience and who I know. I know the players. I know the dogs. I know the guys getting the motherfucking shit out here. I know them in person because I see the women talking to them and checking them out. I see the women. Shoot, sometimes the women will tell you they fucking a dude. They don't look like, they don't go by what a lot of guys think is getting it. Because you got to go past that, even what you see in public or what you see in social media. There are many women. They'll go out with that guy that look good on the surface, got all the surface stuff. And then, they go on a date with that guy, give him a kiss at the front door, give him a little kiss. As soon as they get in the house, they send that WYD text to, like, the dude knocking them out, that maintenance man at 12 to 5, man. That man who actually seduced her. And she'll get off, guy be gone by 5. They might have the other guy come take him to work. I'm just saying, if you take an honest look at the dudes who really getting it, it's really the charisma. That's the key. That's the key. Now, this ain't, like I said, let me be clear. Like I said, if you happen to match that woman's ideal type, she considers you handsome, nice, she likes your body and stuff, you get some play. You get some play and stuff. You will definitely get some play. Even though you can still blow it. You can still blow it and everything, but you'll get some. Might even have sex with her. But she come across that guy who got the charisma, because I'm going to tell you what, somebody sent me something yesterday about this woman talking, she cheated on her man with another guy, and she felt the energy of that guy. She felt of the guy she cheated with, and she even said the guy she cheated on had a bigger dick. But yet she felt the energy of the guy she cheated with. He wasn't as big, but she felt the energy. And that's the key right there. That's the key. She said she couldn't mess with her main guy for a few days after. Because women understand something with women. They got to feel you. Yeah, they'll look and all that, smell you, but remember, they use all their senses. One of them is touch. They got to feel something. That's what that charisma does. They'll feel something. Because if you, like I said, you take an honest look. If you actually know the guys, like personally know the guys getting it. Yeah, some will be maybe got that right body and maybe tap into the right group of women. They'll get plenty, yeah. But you look at some other guys, you like, how he getting it? Wait a minute, well, you know what? He ain't as muscular, he ain't as tall, he ain't as handsome. How he getting it? The women will say that, but be going crazy over him. Because that's just a woman's nature. A woman got to feel. See, it's funny. All these guys will talk about it, but don't understand a woman's real sexual nature. The main thing is they got to feel a man. And they'll tell you. A woman will tell you. If you actually talk to a woman, listen to them, they'll tell you sex appeal and looks aren't the same thing. Sex appeal and looks ain't the same thing. That's shit. That's why you got a lot of men. They'll say, well, everybody tell me I'm handsome. Why am I having trouble? You ain't turning them on sexually. They ain't feeling. There ain't no shame in it, but you got to open that up. You got to open up those gates. And they can tell, like I said, it's a lot of stuff, intangibles, your body language, how you move, your posture, your confidence. How confident are you when you dealing with a woman? Like if you talking to a woman, you're like this and getting here and all that, and you fidgeting and all of that, or you act like you go to meet her and you being all nervous, they ain't gonna do anything, but you go up like, yo, what's up, how you doing? And you looking at them. And shit, you giving off that sexual vibe, you looking them up and down slowly and shit, not trying to be polite, letting them know, letting them feel that, shit, they turning you on. Shit. In fact, let me give y'all some game. I'm going to see who gets this and see who say something. Women, they can get turned on by knowing that you turned them on. Let me say it again. A woman can get turned on knowing she turned you on. But see, a lot of guys don't give off that energy because they sexually repressed. I want y'all to think about that. Sit back and think about it. Now, there's some more I could give, but, I know all the pimps, the real players, understand exactly what I'm saying. But in order for you to even get to that point, you got to deal with your sexual hangups and stuff. That's the first thing. If you want to develop sexual charisma, you got to deal with it. If you got any hangups, any of the slightest hangups. And I talk about this in that series, I got to join Rom TV to check it out and really just check out the other stuff. I got a lot of stuff on there. If you rely too much on your artificial stuff, you rely on too much on stuff, you ain't going to have that charisma. And see, the beauty of the charisma is once it's on, it's on. Once it's on, it's on. If you truly had that charisma, shoot, you can turn on a woman wearing some sweats, not looking like you got stats, have a little bit of weight on you, not be as tall, you can still turn them on. It's that energy, it's that vibe, you know? If you have it. Or if you can develop. Now, it is tough to develop because it's a mental thing. It's purely a mental thing. Now, just to be clear, still, fix yourself up physically. You will get more women. I'm just saying you're just going to limit it to whoever finds you physically attractive. And you know what? That's not bad if you're in the right environment to be around those type of women. If you're in the right environment. But if you got that charisma, you're going to find you're going to hear a lot of women tell you, you're not usually my type. Or they'll tell you, they may have conversations and say, they'll tell you the type of guy to go for, yet in a little bit be sucking your dick. That's the thing. Because that's the power of it. Because I'm going to tell you what, let me go deep. People don't know. Rom can go metaphysic. A lot of people, when people, the thing that affects what we find attractive isn't always biological, but it's culture, it's biology filtered through culture. Like, I guarantee, if you get major ad agencies, some movies, media, the right social media influencers, you can create anything or give an image of this being attractive. Like, I'll give you an example. Big man game. If you had enough movies with some big men, just big, not no body game, they just big, putting them in a good position, have some advertisements here and there, show some images of them being a good man, like some sexual images of them, like some romantic movie sex scenes with them tearing up some women, and just constantly bombard, like the cultural thing goes in that way. All of a sudden, that'll be considered the top man according to culture. Culture, whatever's going on. Whatever's being pushed. Because actually, I saw that back in the late 80s in the black community. Because anybody who's remember the 80s, for a long time, the big thing, you had to be that, light-skinned dude with a certain grade of hair. That was most of the 80s. But then around the late 80s, all of a sudden, Denzel pops up. Wesley Snipes pops up. Michael Jordan was starting to get big. All of a sudden, he had to be a chocolate brother. But wait a minute. Same community. Now, I know I always say the whole Pookie and Ray Ray thing is overblown, but if you remember when gangster rap started getting big, and the promotion of that thug image, all of a sudden it's like, okay, what's promoted? And then, and I'm using the black community because I see it the closest. When Barack Obama was elected, all of a sudden women were like, oh, I want me a Barack Obama. Basically, that's a cultural thing. It's shaped by culture, media, whatever images, whatever they say. People are programmed to think of something. People are following their programming. They program to see certain people as attractive. We still fighting that body positivity thing. We fighting it, but trust me, they're going to keep pushing it till some guys just think, oh, okay, that's normal. But that's going to take a while. I ain't going to lie. That's going to take a while, but it's being pushed. But people don't realize how many forces in society push a certain thing, and they'll use culture and everything to override what's up. In fact, you can see that even in the white community. They were, if you look in the 50s, now the big thing is kind of like that slimmer type of woman. But if you look at history, those are some thick old women in the day. 50s and stuff. I mean, people kept saying like Marilyn Monroe was size 14. Yeah, I didn't see it, but you know. But it changes. If you look at like stuff over the years, it changes. That's programming, right? Now, most people are susceptible to that. The thing about charisma, it cuts through the program. It cuts through the left brain. It goes down to the core. They feel something. It's more on a spiritual thing, you know. Now I know that might have been deep, but you know my Tantra brothers, they understand it, you know. Tantra community, they understand it perfectly, you know. Some poor communities, they understand it perfectly because they go on energy anyway. So, you know, that's the thing that has to be dealt with. That's the thing. Because if I explain this, let's put it like this. If I explain all this to a bunch of men from lower income communities, rougher communities, they understand it perfectly. Shit, they probably add some shit to it. But a lot of guys get too caught up in some, look, I'm going to call it just some square shit. Some square nerdy type of shit. Like everything's according to science. But if everything went to according to some numbers and science and measurements, we wouldn't have any problems. Sticking to it, because relationships, it's a right brain thing, not a left brain thing. So understand that. But anyway, check out the links I have to the Rom TV series. That if you really want to get it, I'm putting it there for you. Also, if for whatever reason you don't want to listen to me, check out that book by Betsy Prelow, Swoon. She starts off talking about charisma. And very little on the physicality. She devotes like a few pages to physicality. She said, yeah, it can affect some things, but most of it is more mental. Most of what she's talking about is more mental. So, anyway, that's all I have for now, y'all. I'll get back with you. Oh, and for those who like the car Rom cursing and everything, sometimes I got to combine Professor Rom driving along. So, anyway. And, let me say one last thing, because I know some guys ain't going to, they haven't experienced that, or somebody else hasn't told them that. Well, that's why I shared the link to Swoon. And then just look it up. There's a few other people that talk about sexual charisma and stuff. Just look it up. You don't have to look at my videos. I want you to have that much of an understanding, because a big issue is that mental aspect. I'm seeing that more and more, because what I'm seeing more and more is seeing guys who look like they should be getting some, because they don't look any different from the men who are doing well with them. They don't look any different. They really don't. And they got just as much money. They don't look different. They got the same amount of money. You know, probably the same amount of status. Okay, so what is it then? It's the mental aspect. It's the intangibles. So, you know. And I'll say this. If you still don't get it, you just don't get it. And if you disagree with it, well, give an intelligent reason why, and not just off speculation. Okay? And shit, I've been dealing with this over the it's closing in on 30 years knowing all of this. So, shit. That X factor. And then, like I said, some dudes are born. Some dudes are they had the potential for it. They still got to bring it out. And then other dudes, they probably had to work at it. And I could go deeper, but too many people looking for a shortcut. Like I said, like I did that previous video, you gotta deal with your sexual hangups first and foremost. You will find, if you did this that much, you'll find you'll open up. If you did just that, you'll open up. And once you open up, you'll be like, oh, okay. And it's still, I could really break everything down in a sentence. But, you know, one of the things I've found is too many people are looking for a shortcut instead of doing the work. Body game is actually the beginning. That's the beginning. All right? So once you get that beginning down, everything else works out. You know? So anyway, that's all I got. I'll get back with y'all. Peace and blessings.